I'd like to introduce you to Michael Kay's Part 3 talk of the Richmond Football Club.
Thank you, friends and loyal supporters. Finally, Terry has gone. Terry Wallace. My feeling is he should have maybe gone 4 or 5 games prior, but I think they just wanted to get him up to the 500 games, which is playing and coaching 500 games, because it'll look a bit better on his CV. Thank you, Terry, but I really don't think you were the man for the job, particularly in this modern game that we play today. In his place, we've got Jade Rawlings, a fine young man who has already made a difference. We had a win last week against the West Coast Eagles last weekend, and it was a good win. This time, we were leading right through the game. Under Terry, unfortunately, we'd be leading at half time, then we'd fall in a heap. So I feel that there's a bit of a buzz around the place now. Now, if you recall, I said that the Tigers must adopt a youth policy and they must be prepared to take risks. With Jade, he's a young coach, he's fresh out of the game. He's more in touch with the modern game. Also, he's taken risks. He dropped 5 players. Troy Simmons, Joel Bowden, Kane Pettifer, McMahon and Coughlin. The only one I'm a little bit sorry is the dropping of Coughlin. He's recovering after injury and he's been doing quite well, but I'm sure he'll be back. But I did say that they must adopt a youth policy and they must take risks, and that's what Jade the Blade has been doing. And straight away you can see the results. The players that they brought in, Edwards, Hislop, Vickery, Nahas and Angus Graham, all performed. Edwards and Hislop, I have to eat humble pie, because earlier on I canned them. I said Hislop was not up to the game, that he was not up to standard. He played a good game. Edwards, likewise. But Edwards, I felt, was always going to make the grade eventually, and he showed something. Vickery, he's going to be good. He's got to fill out a bit. He's got to eat a few more vegetables and fill out a bit, and he'll be a great... he's got the potential to be a great player. Nahas, we know about. He's already been performing well. He came in and he performed well again. Angus Graham, another one, shows a lot of promise. Of the older players, Richard Tambling, Benny Cousins, Mitch Morton, Brett Delidio, they all hit their straps. And all of a sudden there's a buzz down at Tigerland. A lot of people have been criticising the fact that Richmond, they seem to be getting far more publicity than most other teams. But I think footy fans know that when the Tigers sharpen their claws, they can be a threat to most teams in the competition. And they can be feared if they all play well together. My prediction is that if the Tigers win at least 5 or 6 of their last remaining games, my prediction is that Jade Rawlings will be given a firm contract, maybe for the next 2 years, 3 years. I'm not sure it'd be wise to give him any contracts beyond that. Have a look at Terry Wallace. We were stuck with a 5-year contract with Terry, and it just simply didn't work. The worst thing, if I can give a bit of advice to the club, the worst thing would be if they bring old-timers back, like Sheedy, Pagan or Gary Ayres. They've all put up their hand and said, we want to coach. Look at me, look at me, look at me. They are past it. They are past it. They're yesterday's men. All these coaches, they complain about what a tough gig coaching is, but they all still want to coach. It's a bit of a paradox. I don't quite understand this. Anyway, so far with Jade, so far so good with Jade Rawlings, and my feeling is that the Tigers, they're going to finish up the season on a much better note in this last half of the season than what they did in the first half of the season. So I want to thank you very much to my loyal fans. You're the ones that make this possible. I also want to thank young Ben, my production manager, and he's the one that makes it all happen. So he's, if it wasn't for him, I'm not sure where I'd be. Maybe you could come and take a bow, Ben.
Thank you a lot. Thanks a lot, Michael.
Pleasure.
Congratulations on the great interview, and they have a tough game next week against St Kilda at the Telstra Dome.
Hey, you've said enough. It's my gig. I'm the one that's commentating, but thank you, and keep up the good work.
Thanks a lot.
We're signing off. Thanks again.
Richmond versus St Kilda at the Telstra Dome. Tough game.
I turned off.